Hi everyone, it's Tammy with the Frou-frou Studio, and welcome back for my latest No Digitals Allowed video. And today I'm going to work on a cover for my next journal, and I'm going to use this paper bag as my cover. And we're going to do some decoupage on here to get it ready for the journal. So, this is a cold sack that you can get at the grocery store. And my husband brought a stack of these home for me. He asked in the deli for one, and the gentleman in the deli gave him like a whole stack of them. So they're a nice heavier weight paper bag. It says 8-pound extra heavy. So they make really good journal covers, and they're blank on one side, which is good because I'm going to decoupage on this side some tissue paper. So what I did was I took it, unfolded the bottom, just fold it back to its original way so you can see. You know, it was just a smaller paper bag like this, and it had the bottom in it. And I undid the bottom and then took the pleats on the side and folded them out. Okay? And then I marked on here, I waited to cut it so that I could show you how I got to this point. I marked it 8.5 by 11, and that way when I fold it all up, it'll be, you know, like a regular piece of paper size for my signatures. So I'm going to cut this at 11, and actually I think I marked that at 11.5, so I'll have to double check that in a minute. And then I'm cutting it at 8.5. Let me double check that measurement. 8.5. Now you could go a little bit. I'm going to go just a little bit over 8.5. I like my pages to come all the way to the edge of the cover. That is, you know, my preference. If you want them to be, you know, a little bigger, the cover to be a little bigger, then you, of course, would want to go a little bigger than 8.5. Yeah, I did that 11.5, so let's cut that down to 11. Actually, no, we'll leave it 11.5. Okay, so now what I have is the paper bag, and what I could do is flip it this way, and then I won't have any print on the outside or the inside. And then I'm going to fold it this way. Like this. And then we have our journal cover. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is glue the two pages together, or the two pieces together, so that we don't, you know, where I cut it open, we don't have that anymore. And then I'll have to trim that up a little bit because it's not matching exactly. Could probably make it do a little better than what I did. This doesn't have to be exact, guys. Okay, and then I'm going to take just my glue stick because I probably will sew all the way around once I get it finished. And I'm just going to put some glue stick on here and glue down the two pieces. Make sure and get my edges good. Okay, and we're going to glue that down. And kind of smush these creases down. Make sure I don't have any bubbles. Okay, then fold it back. Get that little seam right. Ooh, my glue is goopy. It's warm up here today, so, but I didn't think it was that warm. Alright, and I didn't get that edge good, of course. Let's put some more glitter glue on there just to make sure that we're getting it good and glued together. Like I said, I'm going to be sewing it, so it's not that big of a deal. But alright, so there is our base for our cover. Alright, so now what we want to do is decoupage the outside. And to do that, I have Tim Holtz tissue paper. The one that is called Travel Voyage, and it has the maps on it. And so I am going to put this on here. Yeah, I think that's going to look really cool. Alright, so I'm going to use some gel matte medium to put that down, and the tissue paper top is not going to fit the top of my glue, is it? This is just Golden, by the brand is Golden, and this is a brand new container because my other one is pretty much gone, and I knew I wouldn't have enough to do the whole thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this one. Alright, and wondering if I should take, I'm gonna take this brown paper and put under here so I'm not covering my glass mat with gel medium, and I'm just going to cover this. Now this, you have to move pretty quickly because this does dry really quickly, but you want to get a good even coat. Make sure you have it all covered. You can also use a Mod Podge for this if you want to. I prefer this because it is matte, completely matte, where Mod Podge has a little bit of a gloss to it. Even if you get the matte one, it still has a little bit of a gloss. Okay, let's see if I can get it all covered. We may have to go back and recover some if I don't do this quick enough. Oops, gonna get it on my glass mat anyway. Alright, so I'm gonna roll this out. Come on, get out of there, crinkle. And I don't care if it's a little bit crinkled up. Because I think that'll just... Then I'm just going to kind of overlap it a little bit and do the same thing on the bottom part. Get the roll out of my way. And put somewhere it's overlapping right here. Kind of just smush it down with my hands. And you can kind of feel where you don't have a good, where it's not glued really well, and you can go back in there and just put some more gel medium. You can definitely tell the difference where it's down and where it's not. And I ripped that right there, but that doesn't bother me either. Now, if you didn't want that straight seam across there, like I just put it, you could, you know, tear a rougher edge, and it'd be all right. What I'm going to do is, one, the front the front cover is going to have a, you know, a some kind of topper on it, so I'm not worried about that. And on the back side, I might come in with this. This is just a regular tissue paper that just happens to have some little matte pieces on it, and kind of tear some pieces and put on here just so you don't see that really straight seam, and kind of blend them in. Across that seam. Okay, and then I'm going to cover the whole thing again on the top with the gel medium. Try to get some of those lines out so they're not so obvious. Trying to see where my edges are and make sure I'm getting the edges of the cover and not that brown piece of paper that's underneath. Okay, and then I'm going to take my trusty finger tool and just kind of smooth out those little bumps. A little bit. Okay, I think I got them all. So now I'm going to pause the video and wait for this to dry, and I'll be back with you as soon as it is dry, and we can flip it over and do the inside. So I'll see you guys back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back, and you can see this is almost dry. It's still a little damp, but it's plenty dry enough for us to work on. And so what I have now is a cover that has like a really vintage look to it, and it almost feels like leather, which is kind of cool. And so now what I want to do is cover the inside. Actually, you know what? Do I want to stitch around it before? I'm trying to debate whether, no, yes, I think I do. Sorry, guys. I'm going to, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I kind of want the stitching to show on the inside, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so, sorry about that. Terrible noise. On the inside, I'm gonna put this vintage map, which is a map of the Pasai National Forest in North Carolina, but I like the colors. So let me figure out, sorry, it's going to be hard to get on camera. I'm knocking all my ephemera over. I pulled out some prepared ephemera that I already had to use in the journal, and I about knocked it all on the floor. Alright, so I think I'm going to do it like right in there. Because I have a crease right there already. So let me mark this, and I know I may be part off camera, but as soon as I get it marked, we'll be alright. We can do some cutting and get it out of the way. Okay. Now, I'm going to cut just inside of the line. First, I'm going to cut outside of the line so that I can get the big piece out of my way, and then we'll use the trimmer and cut it down to the real size we want it, and that way I can get this big old map out of the way. I'm just barely cutting outside of my line because there's other pieces of this map that I want to use down the road, like these little charts and things. So, alright, so now that's out of the way. So now let's take the trimmer and trim it down so we can put it on here. And I'm going to cut just barely inside the line so there's just a little bit of the paper bag showing. I don't want a lot, but I want just a tiny bit. Alright, and did I measure that? Yeah, I'm going to take this off too. Okay, I'm going to save those little strips. They might be handy for something. Okay, so then we're going to put this here. And that's going to be my inside. And I'm just going to use glue stick for that because I am going to sew. I just want to get it stuck down well enough. Get it even Steven. I know, boring, right? Gluing. But I do have a few new people, so I wanted to do the process all the way through. Alright, so there we go. Let's ink that all the way around. I'm using gathered twigs to ink. I think it's going to look good on the grocery bag. Okay, and let's put some spots on here, some rings and splatters. And I'm going to use ground espresso for that because I think it will show up better. So I'm going to take my ground espresso and I'm going to take one of my little brushes. Where are my brushes? Okay. These are just little makeup brushes that I got at Big Lots, I think. I don't know if you guys have Big Lots in your area. But if you do, they have these little makeup brushes, and I think they're a couple of dollars. And they have them in 3 or 4 different sizes. And they're great for stencils. Okay, and let's put some over here on this side. Yep, I like that. Maybe a few right down here. Even though that may have a bucket or something on it down the road. We'll go ahead and take care of it now. Okay. So that's basically it. Our cover is made, except for me stitching around it. And then, of course, the next thing that I will do is determine what I'm going to make my panel with. Now, my panel obviously is, I want it to be lighter than what's on here so that it will stand out. And like I said, I have pulled some ephemera out, but I don't know if any of that is suitable for the outside cover. So we'll have to see what I have here. I want to kind of, as I said in my other video, make it be like a all maps and kind of a, you know, where in the world are we kind of thing. That would be cute. That's obviously the UK. But we'll see. I'd like to find, I don't know if I have any Tim Holtz paper left in that pattern right there, but that's one of my favorite papers of his. I would love to find that for a background, but I don't have very many Tim Holtz papers left, so that's cute too. That one's Baltimore. But yeah, I just pulled out some of my ephemera pieces that kind of are geared toward different places. And that's what I intend to put on the inside. So we'll see how that goes. So that's it. Let me know what you think. I think it's going to be cute. I don't want to get it too dark. That's why I say I want, you know, a lighter piece to go there, because I don't want it to be all dark and dreary. And most of my maps actually, you know, have more color. I'll show you my stack I've got so far. This is just going through stash. I've got several old vintage maps, and they all have nice blues and reds and stuff like that. So, it could be that I take one of these that has the brighter colors and use one of those on the back of the panel. Most of mine are in the South because I live in the South. So they're North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, things like that. And then I have scrapbook papers and Tim Holtz papers. There's a little pocket I made. That one's got Western and Central Europe. See, that one's lighter. There it is. But I'll have to give up my map on the other side. I don't like that. I'm gonna whine. But I love that paper. Ooh, decisions. Maybe I can find another piece of it. But yeah, that would look real good because that coordinates. You know, that wouldn't look bad either. That'd just be a lighter version. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. If you have any ideas, please share them with me. I'll be glad to read them and see what you guys think. You know, it could be that I do one of those charts that are in these maps. See, this one is the Carolina. What Carolina is it? This one's North Carolina as well. (1964). So what you know is I'm throwing all these in the floor. Let me know, and I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's kind of boring to watch somebody spread glue, but like I said, I do have new subscribers, so I did want to do it from the get-go. I think I'm going to, after I sew it, I may put some big corners on it as well. And kind of give it that old world look. I think that'd look pretty good. Yeah, I think I like that idea. I don't think I have any book plates. Oh, I do have one. I can put a book plate on it too. That would give it more of an old world look. I don't mind that. I don't know. We'll throw around some ideas and see what we come up with. But thanks you guys for joining me, and I will put a photo of the stitched cover at the end of the video so you can see what it looks like after it's stitched. Right now I have kind of a cream color thread in there, and I think I want to go with like a brown. So I'll have to change out my thread and everything before I do that anyway. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll be back tomorrow for I saw it on Pinterest. So I hope to see you then. Bye.